What's up, everybody? How are you? It's your boy Bill Foster, Real Talk Chronicles. I'm with my co-host Todd Butler tonight, and we hope everybody had a good holiday. Whatever it is you did, I hope it was fun, fruitful. Um, you know, Wednesdays have been difficult for a lot of us. We've all been busy, consumed with other things and stuff like that. But tonight we're just here. We're gonna try to get it in old school. Oh, we got Kevin popping in. Oh, look who's here.
Hey,
Hello, young man.
gentlemen,
Happy holidays to you, brother.
happy holidays.
What you been up to, man?
Work.
Exactly. Well, that's a good thing.
Work.
Everybody, that's Kevin Branzetti. That's Ty Butler. Ty, how you been, brother?
I'm good, man. I'm blessed, and I'm happy to be here with you guys.
All the time. Listen, there's so much going on in the world. I'm kind of, we're gonna go a strong hour, but I want to freelance with you guys and find out if there's anything first and foremost that you all want to talk about. I mean, we got people fighting people on a plane. We got, I think, Ty, we talked about it last week. We got people fighting cops for reasons just to be fighting back. I wanted to know Kev's thought on that. We got people. It's a touchy topic. We have people now coming out years later making accusations or reporting that they have been sexually abused by a multitude of people, white, black, celebrities in that aspect. I want to get you guys' thoughts on that. But if there's any topic, Ty, I'll start with you. If any topic that you want to talk about, we could jump on. Or Kev, is anything? Because, like I said, there's so much going on, and crime is crime. So go ahead, brother. Yeah.
You want to touch on the situation of allegations coming out against various different people. I think right now, the main focus is Sean Combs, and I guess whatever's been going on in that camp has been going on for a while, and things are just coming out, and I think Cassie kind of laid the groundwork, and it gave others maybe the courage to come out and say what else went on. Whether they're all allegations, nothing's factual at this point, but I guess the public and his camp is going to have to deal with it, however.
Yeah. Let me ask both of you a question, and I'll go to you, Ty, and then I'll come to Kevin. I think the governor signed a bill where I think the statute of limitations Kevin, you guys help me out. I don't know if there is a statute of limitations or was it right?
On what specifically, Bill? Statute of limitation on what?
Or there isn't on rape, because these allegations with Puffy, even with the mayor, a couple of actors, Jamie Foxx, and I think the other actor or the singer, I think a couple of other people are coming out.
Someone came out
1990.
Someone came out against Jamie Foxx. I didn't hear that one.
Yep, Jamie Foxx. I forgot what's the I think
Aaron Hall.
Aaron Hall. Yeah. I think Aerosmith, the lead singer of Aerosmith.
Get out.
And
yes, did hear that one.
And another white actor or singer, and then of course somebody's coming out against the mayor right now. So Kev, I don't know. Do you notice that? Go ahead, please.
I'm looking up as we talk. It was a change of the law to make it first. It was 20 years. Mm-hmm. But there's something that's supposed to expire with suing that you had until this month to file. Right. So that's why this month is a huge month of you had to get it in. Stuff from the 90s, the 80s, whatever it was. If it wasn't in by this month, those were then closed again.
Yeah. Now let me ask you your personal. Now first, let me just say this: if anything's happened to any woman or women, I sincerely, my heart goes out to you, and I'm sure you have your reasons. And let's say you have your reasons without malicious intent. You know what I'm saying? Let's go this route first. You have your reasons without malicious intent. Because I mean, look how things happened for Bill Cosby, and look for happened to what's the Epstein dude, right? You know, men in powerful positions have done things to manipulate women, and I'm not going to say that women were naive to it. Some may have been, you know, hungry for the success, and some may not. But you know, like my personal thing is like, you know, the lady comes out against the mayor recently, piggybacking off of the situation that, you know, his campaign. But the thing is, you didn't come out against him when he was the borough president. You didn't come out to him when he was a senator. So, you know, you wait till he's a mayor, and then this drops. To me, that's a little different. I don't know. I'm just saying that is suspicious. This Cassidy thing, you know, Ty, you and I, you know, we know Puff. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm gonna be delicate with this. But the thing is, we've all heard the rumor mills. You know what I'm trying to say? Like that's something we can say. We all heard the rumor mills. But you know, Rich, I know you catching up to what we're talking about. We're just talking about these allegations that have come out against so many different people. What's your take on it?
Well, based on what I just heard you say, I agree with what you said. I mean, I'm not dismissing that when a person makes an allegation that somebody tried to molest them or improperly touch them or what have you. But this is what I know, right? You know, in certain work environments, whether it's work or personal, there are certain people that those kind of people won't even try it with. You know, and it has nothing to do as far as their physical appearance, whether they're pretty or not.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the whole mood is like, you know, nigga, I wish you would, you know.
Right.
And if something happens to you, if you don't speak on it when it happens, or in an amount of time that, you know, something could get done about it, and then you wait for an appropriate moment where now this person is going for higher office or in a particular office and has been in it, like, you know, the mayor's about to run for mayor again, you know. And if this was something that you're doing it because you don't want to see him in a position of power, like you said, he's been bouncing around in positions of power and you didn't do nothing then. So what's jarring you to do it now? I mean, what's pulling your string to do it now? And I'm not saying that, you know, there's a how do you call it,
alternative?
No. There's a point in which you can no longer say anything. I mean, if you're getting counseling and things to that effect where you're working towards now opening up about it, right?
Yeah.
There should be some record of you having those therapies, you know, those sessions that will say, hey, it's you know, she's ready or he's ready.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He's Gene.
He's Gene.
He's Gene. But you know what's so funny? Piggybacking off of what he said, I mean, it's the same thing like going against the Catholic Church. You know what I'm saying? Like the Catholic Church, a lot of times people came out years later talking about, oh, they were touched by the priests, you know, and that magnitude. Go ahead, Rich.
In most cases, those are boys, little boys.
Yeah.
You know, and when it comes to men or young men coming out and say, hey, you know, I was touched as a little boy, you know, it's a huge stigma on a man that comes out and says that.
I think it's a stigma on a woman.
Even I'm not saying it's not. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's not.
Yeah.
I'm talking about in the case of the clergy, right? Because most of those cases are cases where, you know, young men were molested, right? And some nuns may have been molested by priests and so forth. But there are those cases where a person waits that amount of time being a man, I can understand it from a male perspective that if a man gets touched inappropriate, it's kind of like difficult for him once he's become a man to address that.
Yeah, because let me tell you something. I guess, I mean, none of us are psychiatrists in this aspect of what it would be like to be touched in that aspect. You know, I mean, the three of us, Kevin, I don't know if it's ever happened in something in hockey, but I'm sure the three of us are very familiar with Riverside Church. You know what I'm saying? And that situation.
Gauchos,
Yeah,
Riverside,
the gap. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Even at my high school.
Yeah.
At the track coach, try that shit.
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, the thing is, we're dealing with a situation, you know, like I said, the psychological aspect. And like I said, this, what we're talking here at Real Talk Chronicles right now, we're talking about the situation of coming out years later. We're not talking about whether you're right or wrong. I don't want anybody to misconstrue what the four of us are saying. We're not talking about these women are wrong, these boys are wrong, whomever is wrong or right. That's not our place right here. We're just talking about what's your thought process. Is it premeditated? Is it a manipulation tactic? Or is this just finally right now somebody has said, yo, listen, I've got the fortitude to come forward and speak my truth. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, when we talk about the Puffy situation, as soon as that came out, yo, that was 30 mil the next day. You know what I'm trying to say? Like,
yeah, same shit with R. Kelly. You know, they talked about these young women and these parents bringing their children to him.
Yeah,
and they haven't been called out on that. A lot of the parents, the kids testified, and now that they're grown, but the parents weren't even called out on that, and that's a shame. I not to cut you off, Rich, but I mean, I think there's a lot of manipulation that goes along with various different scenarios. I don't think really there should be a time limit on it, but I think that in situations where a certain amount of time goes by, and now an individual is on another journey or in a different place of power or wherever they are, and now you want to come forward. I mean, okay, I understand. It takes courage to come out and basically explain or talk about what happened, but then to turn around and in all these situations, I don't believe in coincidences. You know,
understood.
You waited till,
but you know something else though. Let's even look as far back as Monica Lewinsky, right?
Okay.
Monica Lewinsky, she didn't even really want to come out and say nothing because she didn't really have no problem with it as a form of harassment. As far as she was concerned, she was sucking the president's dick.
It was the other lady,
right?
Who pushed
and she told her friend about it,
and
because the president wasn't giving her no shine in public. You know, he was like, I'm the president. You know, you gave me a blowjob, but I can't publicly acknowledge you in any kind of.
But it was the other lady who
her girlfriend that dropped the ball.
Yeah, it wasn't even her girlfriend. It was a woman who heard
worked,
it,
who
was
worked
able
in the
to say,
camp.
hey, listen, we need to go after this. You know.
And you don't know what her agenda was. You know,
exactly.
Well, her agenda was just what it was, to be in the limelight too, because it brought her to the forefront as being an activist for the most part for women that fall into that category. But you have a lot of women, and I'm not speaking for all women, but you have a lot of women. Now, I mean, and I can even look back in the basketball days when I played ball, man. It was women that just loved you because they wanted to be known for being with that person.
Yeah, with the
right?
man. With the man. Yeah.
Yeah. And you have women that you literally use their sexuality to get advancements in jobs or just to simply be in a place at a certain time just because how they look. Remember back in the club days how the girls would be on the line and they had to look a certain way to get in?
Yeah.
You know? So they had to dress like hoochies and all of that just to get in. And then when they get in, they want to use their sexuality to get free drinks.
Absolutely.
Now you have women, and again, I'm not talking all women. You have women that have used their sexuality for advances in the professional world. right?
We know
That
all
wasn't even
three of us definitely know
qualified
that. Yeah.
to take dictation, notes, but will use their sexuality to get to a certain level, right? And
You mean
then
like
after
drive a
getting to
supervisor?
that level, then after what'd you say?
Like he said, like driving the supervisor. Exactly.
But listen, and then after using that to get to a certain place, sucking dick or having sex or doing whatever the boss wanted them to do, using that to get that position you wanted, and then after you get it, now you no longer want to do it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now you did it to get there, but you don't want to do it to stay there. So now you're crying foul.
I'm getting the flag ready.
Yeah, you get the flag. Yeah.
Wrong color.
Rich, let me ask you, not Rich, Kev, let me ask you a question. And I'm going to throw a little humor in this. First, do you believe about the statute of limitations in that time frame? One, because the bottom line is, what makes somebody not come after somebody like you? You take a girl up in the mountains in the hills, and you tell her, "Yo, I gotta touch you because I won't let you get down off these rocks if you." You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Kev, Bill, I gotta say this. I believe the statute of limitations should only be for the motherfuckers if you can't find them. So I can't find them to charge them. So there should be no statute of limitations, because if now we find out, and we caught him, we got him. Not if you standing right there the whole time and you wait.
That's a good point, bro.
Until you wait till now he's somebody that you can sue.
I got to throw some things at you you're not going to like with your thoughts on that. But
go ahead.
Quick thing into this. I just read up on it. It's the Survivors Act. It was signed a year and a half ago. It was from 6 months after the signing. It lasted 1 year. It dies this week. That's why the suits are coming out.
Okay.
I think if we're going to go historically back and you're going to sue somebody from something that happened 30, 40 years ago, it should be kept private until it's settled. Right. What we're doing is you file the suit.
Say that again, Kevin. Say that again.
That it should be kept private until it's settled. Because if you're gonna look, Rich. So if some woman is going to, or boy, man, is going to sue you for something that happened in 1977. All right. And the thing gets out there and it's public and it's blasted out there public. You own that at that point. You don't have, it's hard to.
But Kev, are we coming after the person because they committed a crime? Or you're coming after the person because you want a couple of dollars for what they did?
This is all civil suits. This is not.
Okay, but this is my point. What you're doing, because what I view this shit as is a crime. If somebody violates you physically, I see that as a crime.
100%.
Not a paycheck.
But this is what
right?
being done.
So if you committed a crime, why are you waiting this long to then get a paycheck?
Well, now look.
Now, picture this.
Plenty of reasons.
Kev, suppose this was your daughter, right? And this happened to your daughter. And then she comes out and say, this happened to me. But she was never able to tell you that. But now it happened, and you know it happened. Are you looking for compensation from money, or you want this motherfucker to go to jail? Or do you want to put the mitts on him?
But you know what's funny? Hold on.
What are we talking about here?
Hold on. I want to bring Ty and Kev and all of us back into this. So, because that was an excellent question, because we all, especially have females in our lives. I'm talking about daughters. I have a goddaughter that I raised, so I consider her my daughter. And I know if something happened to my daughter, because I claim her as my daughter, it's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming knocking on your door. And I can say that because that situation came about when she made an allegation about something. And I was Jimmy Cricket on it. I was on his heels. So I say all that to say.
But were you looking to get paid for what he did?
Well, first and foremost, I think it's a difference in looking to get paid. Because if it was somebody of importance, I mean, first and foremost, I still may want to touch you whether you got money or not. You know what I'm saying? I still may want to touch you. But the bottom line is, strategically, how do you touch a person with wealth? It's their pockets. You understand what I'm saying? Now, I don't know if taking $30 million out of Puffy's pocket is really hurting them. But what I know she did do is she sued his corporations and his companies. And that's why he has to step down, because he's on a board now where they have to sit back and say, well, listen, you're suing the company. And because he's an employee of the company, you understand what I'm saying? She didn't just go after Sean Combs, because then that's a personal situation. She went and implemented the company like, okay, Bad Boy, I was an artist, so this happened because of business reasons and stuff like that. But I mean, what stops?
Yeah, but her shit wasn't that long ago.
No, but she was with him for like 10 years. So what I'm trying to say is that what stops anybody now from coming at Ty, you, Kevin, myself? You know what I'm saying? I mean, you ain't gonna get that money from me. You just gonna get a middle finger and a fucking smile. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't got nothing to give you.
They might,
but you know what I'm saying?
They might just want to spot on Real Talk.
Yeah. And you can't get that. I mean, like, yo, it's already LLC, so you can't have that either. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So
hey, listen, you remember the guy years ago? It was on national television. He had a son that got molested by his karate instructor.
Yeah. Yep. I know the case very well.
The motherfucker walked past after they sentenced him. They was walking him out, and the pops was on the on the fucking phone booth. Had a baseball cap on, turned around and busted him in his head. Pow, pow. Yep. And threw the gun on the ground and threw his hands up.
Yep.
That's how he felt about what happened to his child.
Oh, I totally get it. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I'm trying to say. And, you know, Ty and Kev come in with this because, you know, we're talking celebrity status versus John and you know, John and Jane Q. Public. First and foremost, I'll ask, you know, the question that Rich asked. I'll ask with you, Ty, and I know you have two daughters, correct? Or one daughter? Two. And Kev, I know you have two daughters or one, right? Or two. What would be your course of action from first?
Nobody answer this question. This is recorded.
Well, I'm not telling nobody to say
what happens and we do kill that guy. We don't want the recording of that. We talked about it.
Exactly, yeah, because we are on YouTube. So
I'll tell you this: I would end up in jail.
Yeah. Okay. So now let me ask you a question. And this goes to the point Rich was saying. Would you still feel the same way if he was a rich person? Would you strategically think about suing them? Because I still want to touch him both ways.
That's what I have to do afterwards.
So I would probably do both.
Exactly.
She sues, we hurt.
Yep.
Yeah, you know, and then she can have what she needs to take care of her mental health as far as going to see a professional. And, you know, sad to say that, you know, stuff like that, because people never fully recover from situations like that.
Yeah.
They may be able to live a normal life, but the way they are with relationships and interactions with others and their self-esteem and listen, yeah, you can live a normal life, you can go on and live life, but they weren't given a chance to really to enjoy it.
Yeah. Kev, Rich, and then go ahead.
I'm in a world now where I have met a lot of survivors. You know, it is part of the nonprofit I run. It's just other nonprofits I work with. So I have sat and heard these stories, mostly women, who talk about the horror. And, you know, it took a decade to get out of the gutter after that, or 2 decades to get out of the gutter after that, to then get yourself back together and then start to get your life in order. And then once you start getting your life in order, it's another decade or 2 decades to get to a point where you feel comfortable around other human beings. You know, those women exist. And then to come out 20, 30 years later because they finally hit that level where they're brave enough to talk about it because they want to make sure that predator is taken down, because the odds of a predator doing it once is rare. It does happen, it's rare. So I understand that side of it too. I said, these are some of the bravest, most courageous human beings I've ever met in my life.
So a predator only did it once?
They're not a predator. That's not a predator, Kev.
No, I don't see it ever.
We ain't talking about you, Kev.
No. Leave him alone. Leave him alone. But
Yo,
but look at the guy in Georgia, right? Whose whole professional football career that was ruined, right? Truly ruined. He was in high school. He was in college, I think. One or the other, and statutory rape. Had sex. I think she was in high school, or she lied about her age or whatever. And excuse me.
Bless you.
And he went to jail. He's actually defensive coordinator on one of the professional teams now. But
the Vikings, I think it was the Vikings.
Yeah. He actually went to jail and ruined his whole career. Now, it's rape, right? In the eyes of the law, is rape, but there's extenuating circumstances. Did he know? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Her age. And then there's a lot of circumstances where women, and I'm saying this as a father of two daughters, like, you know, there's situations where women they're into it, and then after things get going, they may have changed their mind, or even after the fact they wish they had, you know.
Let me just read Roscoe's comment. He says most of the women might not have men in their families. I think, you guys can see it. He said that's the problem with a lot of things, you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So in a lot of situations, that is too, you know. So the interaction with a man is strange to them, but they're there, whether they're in school, whether they're in after school activities, sports, they have it. And then, you know, it goes bad for them.
Well, can I say something about that part?
No.
Go ahead, Rich. Absolutely.
A man has to be responsible for what he does with his dick. All right?
Mm-hmm. Where you go?
Yeah, that's why he blacked out.
He's not responsible.
I told him don't respond. And
exactly. Yeah, exactly. And now he go 1G on us. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I mean, you know, this is a crazy situation, because the bottom line is, even though we have so much empathy for the women that have been put in the situations, like, the worst thing is, I think we've all heard of the horror stories of people being taken, and I'm mixing this up, you know, taken to court for child support when the man really wants to be there for his child. You know what I'm trying to say? And then now, like I said, first thing we hear is, you know, 15, 20 years later, now you're coming out. But like Kevin, to your point, Rich, I'm gonna let you come back in because you faded the black. You went 1G on it. You know,
yeah. Well,
you know, it takes so long to honestly admit that this thing has happened to them. So that's your point. So go ahead, Rich. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, me personally, I've never been like no one night stand dude. I can't fuck with girls.
Listen, this is taped and it's on YouTube. Rich,
right?
It's on taped and on YouTube. People will listen. Don't.
I told you, I'm not no one night stand dude.
Okay, all right. Just saying, you never know.
YouTube or anything.
Somebody come out and talk about, no, that Richard Williams, we only did it once, and you know, he came back a year later.
Tell her to come forward and tell me what it looked like.
Holy.
And I'll come on in. So, go ahead. But truth be told, man, as men, we got to take more responsibility of the type of women we dealing with when it comes to that. I mean, if I'm dealing with a woman, no means no. You know, I'm never taking nothing from no woman.
Right.
And I got to know you long enough for me to even pull my pants down with you. Mm-hmm. You know? So for you to say, oh, you didn't know how old she was, that means you didn't give a fuck who she was.
No, but his situation was, I think he was friendly with the girl, and it came out they were having sex, and that's what happened. Yeah.
Well, like I think this one woman, I forgot her name, a Spanish lady. I think she's Spanish. The one that might be one of the people that's talking about Aaron Hall. they found out there was an interview that supposedly somebody revealed that Aaron Hall met her in the club, a club that stated you had to be 21 years of age or older. So if you're in a club at 21, I mean, common conversation, yo, how old are you? Because we all ask each other, how old are you? So maybe he didn't care. He didn't ask. So he meets her in the club. Supposedly she's 21. They rocking. He wants to take her out the country on a trip with him. He doesn't find out she's 21. He doesn't find out she's 16 until they get to the airport, and she's about to go through customs and a passport. And they say to her, "Well, wait a minute. You go to leave the country. You need a consent form." And he was like, "What are you talking about?" So he was like, "Well, how old is she? How old are you?" She was like, "I'm 16." That story kind of gets left out, but unbeknown to him. But you know what? I think Kev, and correct me if I'm wrong, or Rich or Ty, anybody. No is no. Like I think Roscoe said, no means no, and no means no. And I don't think you get a pass for not knowing if a person is not underage, right, Kev?
It's not that you get a pass, but
you don't get a pass. I'm saying you don't get a pass.
There's definitely circumstances. Look, if you're in a bar and they're checking IDs at the door, everybody's 21. You left with a girl. She turns out she's underage. There's reason to believe you were pretty safe, and not many places are going to prosecute you.
Right.
There's always a little more to, it's what's tough with these stories, the one you're given.
You know what's going to happen, Kev?
We're hearing
fucking in the bar.
Is we're hearing what's in the news.
Kev, did you fuck her in the bar? Where they check the ID at?
Will you leave Kev alone? He's trying to explain something.
You always trying to be his protector, man.
You see, we picked everybody. You see, we picked back up right where we left off. It's been a minute since we all been here.
Now, if you fucked her in the bar, then you got
Kev don't even drink alcohol.
But if he took her outside of that bar, the bar ain't got nothing to do with it because it ain't happening in the bar.
Kev's a devout Catholic. Will you leave him alone? He don't drink alcohol.
Yo, Roscoe has a statement.
I mean, Kev, was that puppet of Ty? Let me see that puppet again. Yeah, that motherfucker's Ty. Look.
Yeah, that I think he's trying to signify you as the elf, right?
Exactly.
Yo, put Ty back.
Ignorance is no excuse for breaking the law. I agree with you, Roscoe. But
that's what Roscoe says. Ignorance is no excuse for breaking the law. Absolutely, brother.
But that football player was the football player was a kid.
About his being, you got to be 21 to get in. Oh, okay, cool. They got in. It was bogus. But did you do what you did in the bar? No. So you met her in the bar, but you took her somewhere else and did what you did.
Right.
So that bar situation ain't got nothing to do with it.
Well, it does because you have reason to believe she's 21. That's the legal age to get into a bar.
Okay, but you said you met her in the bar, right?
Yeah.
You know what the bar owner's going to say? She wasn't in here.
Well, that's easy to prove. That's easy to prove.
Yeah.
Or one can say whatever they want. There's nothing to do with that.
How? But did you fuck her in my bar?
No, but it's easy to prove she was in the bar.
But did you fuck her in my bar?
No.
Okay, there you go.
But that's not what I'm getting at. I'm saying that there's circumstances in a case like that. It's rare that guy's going to get prosecated. It's
because he met her in the bar.
Because he met her in the bar, and you're supposed to be 21 in there. It's a place where not
if I'm the attorney.
Yeah.
Did you fuck my client in the bar?
So be it.
No.
Going back to that football player story, I was trying to say before Rich interrupted me 11 times.
I'm sorry, Kev. I'm sorry, Kev. I should have listened to your attorney.
I missed Rich. Was that it's hard to tell with that story because you're getting little bits and pieces of story that make it to the news, and that's probably 25% of the truth. Of what actually happened. Yeah. So it's hard to make a judgment on should that guy have been arrested? Should it have ruined him? Was she right? I don't know.
That's what Roscoe says. Who the F doesn't know about fake IDs? Come on, man. We all exactly. I mean, everybody had fake IDs at one point, to get somewhere or buy something. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I guess You know,
and Bill, if you talk to the girl long enough, you'll figure out how old she is.
Well, yeah, I mean, Rich, but you know what's so funny? I mean, and I'm not defending Aaron Hall at no state of point in this situation, but the bottom line is, let's just take it. Let's be factual. Maybe he didn't want to know how old she was, because if he knew his conscience, you know what I'm saying? I mean,
with you on that. Which
maybe you
goes
don't want
back
to
to
know.
me saying that you got to take responsibility for your dick.
But I know one thing. I mean, you know, there was a clip. I don't know that I don't think I sent it to either one of you guys. There's the clip that he's talking on YouTube or Facebook or Instagram. I think 50 Cent posted it, that he's talking about he liked having sex in front of after dudes that he said he was well endowed. So he was like coming after small Johnson dudes and smashing out. So like he liked people
Aaron
watching
Hall.
him sex. Yeah.
That's Aaron Hall.
Yeah. So I'm saying, like, yo, like, you know, when you start getting into the celebrity world and behind closed doors and stuff like that, you're playing a real wicked game, and you're playing a game with people that after a while, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know with Cassidy, you know, he was taking care of her. She might have thought, you see the women from his group, Danity Kane, they all coming out in support of her. I mean, you don't know what Puffy's been asking people to do or not do, or you don't know what any celebrity will ask a person to do or not to do when they have that power. I mean, like I said, we just saw Bill Cosby go through a whole bunch. We saw what's his name, Harvey Weinstein go through a whole bunch. So, I mean, like I said, I'm not here at all defending them. I'm just, like I said, I'm going off of what Kevin was talking about, the psychological thing, but also too, it always looks suspicious when somebody comes out, especially when it comes to the mayor. You know what I'm saying? You had an opportunity to come at dude when he was a senator, when he was the borough president, and I think when he was a police officer, because I don't know when it did happen, and he's always had a job of government. So you always had an opportunity to take a shot at him. So you wait after, you know, they're coming out with coming after his campaign people, and then all of a sudden you want to drop this bombshell. And now, Kevin, like you said, the statute of limitations or the time frame on this is what it is, right? But so what is it, the Survivor Act or something like that? The governor signed this in the bill. So, I mean, I really don't know what to say about it. I think, you know, I pray for all women. We can close out on that topic. Your last thoughts, and then I want to ask you another question about something else. So, any last thoughts and comments on that, Rich? Start with you.
Nah. What you want from me?
No, he just laughed. He was like, nah. Kev, you?
Well, like I mentioned earlier with this, like, if you're gonna have these and let people sue for 30 years ago, 40 years ago, I think it should be left private until the suit is settled. I don't think it should be automatically public. It is
part of the suit, Kev, is that you don't say anything about it after you get the money.
Well, we knew these suits, right? You knew Puffy's suit. Now you know that people are talking about the mayor. People are talking about other people. Right? There's a whole bunch of these. It's hard to throw something at somebody from 40 years ago. Right? It is a difficult thing. Could some have dreams of money, revenge, or just, you know, emotionally unstable and making things up? Absolutely. Are some legit? I'd say more often than not, they're legit, is my honest opinion. But it still should be.
Let me ask you something. It's a little off topic, but did you hear something about Puffy giving royalties to some of the artists?
All his artists. Yep. He did. Yep.
Yeah. So that's an easy way to keep motherfuckers quiet that were witnesses to shit.
Absolutely.
Puffy wasn't giving them shit.
He was just giving them now maybe to keep them quiet, right? I feel you.
I'm just saying, you know.
I mean, you know what's so funny? I mean, listen, like what's happening now, this has nothing to do with snitching. I mean, you know, 50 Cent has always joked and snapped on him about how, you know, everybody that, you know, Ty and I have been close to that industry life. And, you know, Rich, I know you know people, you know, they always talk about his parties and things, whatever, you know. Hey, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people stay away from that. So it is what it is. I mean, but you know, a lot of these cats, they feel untouchable. Roscoe said Puff gave it to them when it ain't worth ish. Exactly. Yeah, he said he gave up their royalties right now when nobody cares about it. I mean, I guess they still, a lot of these people are still able to win off the 50 years of hip hop, to get some kind of publicity and some show. Roscoe also said the industry is full of opportunists, period. They think money makes anything go away. It is what it is. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's a great point. Ty, your thoughts?
I mean, in regards to the Puff situation, I said what I had to say. I think that's going to be going on for a while. Regarding individuals coming out after the fact, a certain period of time. I mean, every situation is different, so you can't really put a label on it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, bro.
And it's all speculation until everything is brought out later on. I hear what Mo's saying, but
Yeah. I had to post it. Mo was like, yo, look what Roscoe said. Yo, your cats is hilarious. Roscoe says, yo, Puff's the new Trump. He's hilarious. Exactly. Yeah, the bottom line is, people say, and people always think when you do a settlement, you do a settlement because you want to protect your brand, or you don't want to get caught up in a whole lot of hoopla. You know what I'm saying? So, people called Michael Jackson a child molester. That little boy never say Michael touched him, I don't think. But listen, the fact that the mother all of a sudden used it as an opportunity. The little boy was sitting on his lap, or he took a nap with the little boy or slept with him. Listen, taints your image. It is what it is. Everybody, this is Real Talk Chronicles. I'm your host, Bill Forster, with my co-host, Ty Butler, Kevin Branzetti, Rich Williams. Last week, I want to shift a little bit. Kev and Rich, you weren't here. Ty and I were talking about this. I want to get your thoughts on it. Right now, it seems like the new norm is for people to fight officers. Right?
Man, white people been doing it forever.
Okay.
White folks fight cops all the time. The new norm is for black people to start fighting cops back. I go with that one.
Okay, if that's where you want to go, I'll let you come in when you get a chance. But my thing is, has it gone too far now? Where, because a lot of times people always say, "Oh, these cats are fighting because of what they they read in the news." And I told Ty and I was talking last week. Listen, half these times when we talk to these young kids, they don't even know who Trayvon Martin is, and all these young people, Amir Aubrey, and all these people. They don't even know who these people are. We have to give them a whole printout for them to read it first and foremost. So I don't buy the fact that, they are fighting because of that. I think they're just fighting because they think it's the fad. I just want to get your take on it. I'll start with you, Rich, and then Kev. Go ahead.
Oh, you want me to go first?
Yeah, but I don't want you to go long. I just want you to go first.
Well, let me go last then.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead, Kev. You go.
We're in an era. You're right. I think we're in an era where fighting is more prevalent. There's no ramification. Why wouldn't you fight the cop? Right. Because if you win, you get away. You got away. If you lose, you get arrested. There's no extra charge. Maybe you get lucky and you get a lawsuit out of it, or the cop takes an extra shot and then the cop's in trouble and you're free. To me, why wouldn't you? Almost.
Yeah, because just so funny. And then I'll let Todd come in. Or you guys can hold it down for that point. What about the officer that was fighting the two people on the subway platform, and it was an outside subway, and I was so afraid that they was going to pick him up and throw him off that ledge.
Wasn't he a lieutenant or something?
No, that's inside the train.
Oh,
that was inside the train, and I think Chuck knew him. Chuck chimed in last week with us. But the thing is, one of those cases they declined to prosecute. I don't even understand how that comes about.
Who declined to prosecute? The cop?
The borough.
Which one did they decline?
Not the one on the train.
It was one of them. It was the one on the outside. I think it was the two on the outside.
They declined to prosecute the guy that assaulted the cop.
Yeah, the two guys that assaulted the cop.
All right, so that tells me it was more to it than what we saw.
I'd have to see the video again.
Yeah. Matter of fact,
I don't even have to see the video to know that.
I'll send it to all three of you again.
Listen, Rich. I understand you're trying to be an advocate without having all the facts.
It ain't even about it being an advocate. It's
you're
about
trying to be an advocate. You don't know what it. You don't know what happened, bro. You don't know. What happened. We don't know what happened. We wasn't there.
That's what I just said.
Okay.
For them to not prosecute means there was more to it than what you saw in the video. That's all I said.
I didn't see the video. Neither did you.
How you know what I saw?
You just said you ain't see it. Because you just said you ain't see it.
I'm not your client. Kev,
you just said you ain't see it.
Kev's your client.
He said Kev's your client.
Kev's your client.
Yo, Kev, what's your thoughts?
I'm trying to find out. I see the one where they were held. I mean, they were freed. The recent one from this month in the Bronx. Judge frees 2 men. No bail.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen decline prosecution.
Yeah. Let me see if I can look.
I'm looking for a declined. I don't see a declined.
Okay, let me. As you guys, one of you guys talk about what your thoughts on just fighting crime. I mean, fighting officers, and let me see if I can look for this real quick.
Well, what was the story with the cop who got in trouble for not helping the boss?
How crazy is that, right?
Right, like not helping your partner who's getting into a fight.
In his lane. He knew he was a punk ass motherfucker. So he stayed in his lane.
Bill, how long did that cop survive in the NYPD at this point? Done.
Yeah, listen. If in our era when we were working, if we heard that you was chicken, you would have to work inside or get transferred. But it would follow you. A phone call was faster than anything, right, Ty? Right, Kev? I mean, listen, you heard people talk about people. The first thing people call a command that they knew somebody that worked in a command, and if a guy became a sergeant, they was like, "Yo, how's Kev? How's Ty? How's Bill?" You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. They'll listen. That phone call will find you, bro.
Yeah, but you got to define chicken. Chicken means that you're a chicken because you wouldn't fight when other cops was around, or you just won't fight if you're alone.
It was obviously you was afraid to fight when the situation got big. You know what I'm saying?
When you had help with you, you wouldn't fight.
Yeah,
that's a chicken. You're right.
Yeah, when your partner's getting beat and you're standing there watching, that's a coward.
Yeah. Kev, you can't post anything from WhatsApp that if I send it to you, right? I mean,
it takes me a little work.
Oh no, I don't want you to work. Okay, let me see. I'm gonna try to hold this up to the screen, and let me see if I get your thoughts on this, fellas.
Is that crazy video you sent me, by the way? That text?
No. Oh, hold on. Let me see,
dude.
I can't do the sound.
Oh, it's not the screen.
Oh yeah, I saw that one. I saw it. That one is the one where they refused to prosecute because the way you
no.
Is that in the store?
Yeah, that's in the store.
Now I'm gonna start it from the beginning. Hold on.
He's by himself.
Do you have any problems with the way he's throwing his punches?
I had a problem with the way he was beating on the guy for real. Like,
okay,
what is 2 of y'all? What does it take to take him down without having to go through all of that? And then once he's on the ground, the guy's still beating on him.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, that's not how you handcuff somebody.
That's typical shit. There.
Wait till he goes down. No, it's not typical. It's just people that don't know how.
That's typical
to handle certain situations. Now he's down, boom.
Yeah.
And he's boom. He's still hitting.
How many times I seen
boom,
that
but his partner ain't hitting him. His partner's not hitting him.
Dog, you know how many times I seen that shit?
Okay, but I'm just saying, Rich. Like,
what are you saying?
I'm saying
that's typical shit.
It's not called for. No, it's not.
I'm
Everybody
not
won't
saying
do
it's
that.
called for. I'm telling you, it's typical.
It ain't typical.
You got 3 cops here, Richard, never did that in their career. Never.
Yeah, I ain't never did that in my career.
Period.
I ain't had to, if
Not
somebody
even-
wasn't hitting me,
That's
I wasn't
only
hitting
because
them.
your shit is being recorded.
And I'm telling you, if somebody wasn't hitting on me, I ain't hit them. It ain't got nothing to do with being recorded.
Wait a minute.
Listen, at this
Say that
point,
again, Ty.
at this point,
You said you got hit on and you didn't hit back.
if I wasn't being hit, I wasn't hitting somebody. You understand what I'm saying? There was no reason. I didn't have to. The power of the mouth sometimes was mightier than the power of the fist.
This is the thing I think I wanted to show you guys, and then I'm gonna show some comments.
And you know that because you do a lot of talking yourself. Yeah, good.
Yeah, I fucked up a couple of cops in my day.
No, all you do is talk, man. Stop talking.
No, that's real shit.
All you do is talk.
I got arrested, but I fucked up a couple of cops in my day.
Okay.
Yo, look at the video, yo.
I never saw this one.
All right, I'm starting from the beginning. I'm sorry, I'm playing it this way.
Bill, you gotta learn how to play these things on the screen here.
I know, brother. I know.
Where's the genius in the family?
She's downstairs working.
I can't really see it, you know.
Well, you'll see it. Well, you didn't see him fighting. Can you see it?
Maybe you should put on your glasses like everybody else got their glasses on.
No, you got on binoculars, motherfucker.
Everybody here got glasses on except you.
Not you. Yours are binoculars.
And you the oldest one here, and you ain't wearing your glasses.
And
so
younger
what
than
is
you.
your issue?
And I'm younger than you.
Yo, well, the bottom line is, the bottom line is these cats, look, they were fighting on a platform. I think it was in the Bronx or something. Hold on.
Yeah,
And this is what I'm talking about. Both of them are wailing on this officer. This is what I heard they declined.
Oh, that's 2 dudes that jumped an officer. Oh.
Yes.
Wow. And they didn't get prosecuted?
That's what I heard. I'm looking for the paperwork on it. Somebody sent me, said that they didn't prosecute.
Oh, that's ugly. And that's in the Bronx too.
Yeah, that looks like a 4 or 6 train kind of thing.
And what's her name is the DA up there? Darcel.
Darcel.
Yeah.
Listen, black folks been getting their ass beat so much by cops historically. They tired of getting their ass beat.
Okay.
At the end of the day, not only are they getting fucked up, they getting killed.
Yeah.
So they said, fuck it. If you're gonna kill me, I might as well go for mine.
Listen, I got my ass beat too by cops when I was
I can believe that.
Yeah.
Then there was the other thing. You won't be able to see. It's an article. I'll send it to you guys. It said a moment of gang of hooded thugs kicking, punching police officer. Then it comes with an article. I'll send it to you. I'll send it to all you guys. I mean, so I just think right now the things are damn getting out of control.
Yo, I know some stand-up cops that will stop other cops from doing that shit. Right? But they are so few and far in between. It's crazy.
Mark says it's a sad tone when law enforcement can't be protected. Society is losing its mind. Unfortunately, next year will be the year of Trump. November 6th on steroids, nuts. Somebody else says, let's see. Mo Weather says, what's Mo say? Show. Mo says, real talk, real understanding cops have to stop worrying about the public and DAs and fight for their lives. It seems like it's getting to that, man. It really seems like it's getting to that.
Listen, if I was a cop, I'm not going to take no ass whipping because I'm scared that I'm going to lose my job. I'd be just a jobless motherfucker because you're not fucking me up. But in the same token, I'm going to be respectful and practice the law instead of control. A lot of cops have a tendency to practice control as opposed to enforcing the law,
No, I don't know. What do you say?
Well, let me explain it to you, my brother. Right?
Please do, because you're not making sense.
Let me explain it to you. My Nubian brother, right? And this is something that I saw this a testimony by a cop, by a black cop, right? How when practicing stops, right? Cops have a tendency that when they approach people of color at night, if they pull you over, say you ran a light, They pull you over.
Mm-hmm.
Cops will approach your car on both sides and will shine a light in your face, forcing you to react by putting your arm up or your hand up. The minute you do that, it's about controlling your movement now, right? Instead of approaching you as they do white people and say, excuse me, did you realize you just ran that light? Or this is the law that you broke. When dealing with people of color, they cause situations that cause them to now deal with controlling their movement, controlling their actions, which
You see what Mark said, Kev?
automatically on the defense. Now, this is something that was reported by a black officer. And I know this for a fact because it's happened to me. You get pulled over, cop shines some shit in your face and keeps it shined in your face.
I don't disagree with you, Rich. Okay.
And telling you about
Rich,
what you can do and what you can't do, as opposed to saying to you, hey, listen, can I see your license registration? You just did X, Y, and Z.
Rich, I don't
They ask
disagree
you a whole bunch of shit.
Okay.
It's not even related
Rich,
to the
Rich,
offense.
can I?
Yeah, let Kev say something.
But
Can I
I
ask
know
you a
what you're
question?
going to say, Kev, because last month you said that more white people get shot mistakenly by police.
Nah, I just
than
want to look
black
closer
people.
at you when I'm talking to you.
That's not bright enough, Kev.
Listen, Rich, I don't disagree with you.
No, you don't
and
disagree with me. Your problem is you
because
don't
it's
agree with
happened.
me
It's
because
happened.
you're on a neutral line here. You
No,
walk
it's
in
not.
that line of being
Nah,
blue instead of a human being.
no,
You want
I'm
to stay
walking.
blue. You want to
Okay.
stay blue instead
All
of
right.
just
Let me know when you
addressing the
finish.
facts of things.
Let me know when you finish
So I'm
because
gonna let you
I
stay
got to
blue.
get off soon.
I'm gonna
So
let you
unless
stay
you want
blue.
to
Go ahead,
control,
Blue.
unless
Blue.
you want to control the conversation, then I'm gonna be quiet. But I got to get off the line soon.
That's
so
impossible.
Let me say this.
Go ahead.
Let me say this. I never walked any line but a truthful line, bro. And I tell you, I don't disagree with you because I've been treated that way. I've seen people treat people that way, and I've always said since I've been on this show that people are more empathetic to those that look like them and those that come from their neighborhood than those that don't. So yes, when in those situations, I'm not making excuses whether they're more fearful because the person is darker than them or looks different than them or they're in a different neighborhood. That could be it, but they're less empathetic to people that don't look like them.
Absolutely.
And don't come from where they come from. Okay?
Rich, ain't none of us arguing that point. We all agree with that.
So with that being said, that's my closeout, Bill. I got to do something at 8 o'clock.
I appreciate it. I'll talk to you later, brother. All right.
It's been a pleasure. Kev, it's been a pleasure. Bill, it's been a pleasure. And Rich, you know what you could do. All right, gentlemen. Have a good night. All right. Have a good night.
I'll see you later, bro. My guy, I'll talk to you later. But y'all understand, punk is a punk. There's always a abuse.
Yo, shut up, man. I ain't got time.
Words of my career friend, Guy Shamalamar.
Yo, listen, we ain't gonna stay on but another 2 more minutes. I figure I want you guys. Is there any topic you want to talk about going forward in the future, or that might come up? I know everybody at Real Talk Chronicles, we discuss topics that are happening right now and today, but we don't have any problems going back. And you see, I learned a new feature. Malika told me, listen, took me 3 years to figure that I could just show your comments so I don't have to read them all the time now. And like Roscoe said, this is a funny thing, Roscoe said, what y'all don't understand, a punk is a punk. That's why they always abuse power. You know what I'm saying? Recently, I know the answer to this. The officers that killed a young man, oh my God, I forgot the place.
Recently?
Yeah, well, it was in the past, and he got acquitted in court. He got a $200,000 settlement back from the job, and he got his position back. I think people, Kevin, correct me and help me explain this. People, once you're not found guilty of something, you get your retro pay, right? Kev, like your back pay and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I know people are in alarm, like, oh, how did he got his money? And then I think the officers that did something, I would have to look it up real quick. I don't have that kind of time frame.
Aurora Police Department.
I thought you were going to talk about Chauvin getting stabbed up.
I was going to ask you, what's your thoughts on that before we get out of here? Yeah.
What's my thing? Don't ask me, ask Kev.
Well, I would ask it.
I'm shocked he's in a position or a place in prison where he's with other people.
Why?
That was the norm of keeping people who are a threat to be hurt protected.
He's not a threat to be hurt. He's a white supremacist. They run the jails.
Well, clearly he was a threat to be hurt. He got stabbed, right?
Well, everybody's a.
I feel bad for
the nice
no,
in that joint. He's no more of a threat to be hurt than anybody else. Yeah. He's a hero in there with some guys.
Well, I'm sure. There's no doubt.
Yeah. What about the guy that pulled the what's that dude's name? The vigilante dude. Back in the day.
Hold on, Richard. Let me read something for Kev. It's the officer Nathan Woodward, acquitted in Elijah McClain death, gets job back and $200 in back pay.
Yeah.
Right? That was one. And then the other one was 8 Ohio officers in the Jalen Walker's fatal shooting did not violate police policies, pro fines. So those are the ones. So go ahead, Rich. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Nah, I was just saying about the dude Chauvin that got stabbed up in jail, right?
Yeah.
And he's still trying to fight to get his conviction overturned.
Everybody in prison's fighting to get their conviction overturned. That's not,
Yeah, even somebody like him.
There is not a soul in prison, basically, who's not trying to get their conviction overturned. I mean, that's.
Mm-hmm. But he's in the place he needs to be.
Hey, Kev, this is something that Kev, look up Hunter Britton. He would have been 20 years old today. He would have been celebrating his 20th birthday if he wasn't killed by an Arkansas sheriff deputy in 2021. Hunter was unarmed and following a jug of antifreeze when the deputy shot him. This is his proper spelling, Kev.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Was he white?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What?
Yeah.
So there's body cam footage afterwards, but not of it. Same thing with the one you mentioned before who got the $200,000 and got his job back.
Yeah.
There's no video.
Yo, did you see that one where the guy was approached in a gas station by some cops?
Oh, we've showed this video, Bill.
And he fired on them. He fired on the cops. He had a what do you call those bracelets on your ankle?
Monitors.
He had an ankle monitor on him. He pulled into a gas station. They were talking to him. And the cop was like, "Is that an ankle monitor?" He's like, "Yeah." So he's explaining to him, the ankle monitor. He was talking real calm and nice to him. And then they asked him for his ID and he couldn't produce it. So the cop was real nice to him, He wasn't even on the defense.
Is this the white guy, the one that we all have in our group? I sent y'all in the chat group, the white guy.
Say again?
Is this the white guy? No, hold on. Kevin is going to show it right now.
This is what you just said.
You showing it?
This is what you just said.
Nah, that's not it.
They killed it.
The one I'm talking about was in broad daylight. Dude was sitting in the truck at a gas station. And the police walked up to his car. They didn't have their guns drawn or nothing. Talking to him real nice. He got an ankle monitor on. He's talking real nice. He pulled he asked him for his license registration. He gave him a piece of something. He said, they said, don't worry about it. See if you can find it. He reached in the glove compartment, couldn't find it. So then he real nice said, okay, well, can you just step outside the car? And he said, for what? Am I being arrested? He said, no, I just need you to step outside the car. So the cop went to open the door. When he opened the door, dude had the gun in his hand and let him have it. Bang, 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 bang. He shot 2 cops before they put him to sleep.
On his back? Yeah.
But to my point is that they approached him talking about the law because he was a white dude. And he gave it to him.
Well, hey, Kev, you remember the one I sent? You remember the one I sent you guys in the group about the white guy that they pulled over and he shot the cops? You remember, Kevin? You was like, "Yo," he's like, "At least it shows that there's a." Yeah, I mean, I was just saying how crazy it is. I mean, listen.
Yo, if that kid in that car was black and they saw he had that ankle monitor on, they would have knew right off the bat he wasn't even supposed to be in that fucking car. Guns would have been all in his mouth.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's something like Todd said and like Kev said, we all agree. Like, people have empathy for the people that they can relate to, and people don't for the ones that they can't relate to. So I get it. Go ahead, Kev.
And that's a supernatural thing. That's not that's something we've done as human beings for centuries, right? It's not.
What's that?
You have more empathy for people you can relate to.
Okay, well, black cops have that same empathy for white people that they don't even have for their own people.
I'm not gonna.
And that's not all black cops.
Well, that's what you just said.
Black cops that will give that empathy you're talking about
to
that same white dude.
Okay.
Because he's white. But he's not black.
You're talking about a hypothetical, and I'm sure it exists.
Relate in the sense that he feels like he white. No.
Well, I think we have and I'm not going to defend Kev on this. I'm just going to say, I think we have to talk about the mind state of who people are, that we have historically been taught that white is right. And that's not a fault that, I guess Kevin can defend right now. I mean, Rich, I'm going to tell you, people of color will, if you're in law enforcement, you're not going to slam a white person around on a regular traffic stop. And, but you're going to definitely look at him. Oh, he's a white man or a white woman. You go to a black person, you don't, I've seen it. A white person will give you a whole lot of lip and talk about, yo, I pay your taxes.
I'll have your job.
And they'll still just get a ticket and be like, have a nice day.
Personal working experience, or are you talking about from videos we've watched?
Are you talking to me or Rich?
You, Bill. You. Rich has no personal experience.
Oh,
except for being beaten by cops.
I'm talking from both. I've seen officers. I've pulled over a white person and they started giving me the fever. Why'd you pull me over? I'm doing something, da da da. There's the whole. There's people out here committing crime. Da 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 da. Listen. Take the ticket. Give me the license registration. Where maybe I might have told somebody, a black person, yo, come on, man, shut the fuck up. Excuse my French. You know what I'm saying? Because the bottom line is, white people will complain faster and make complaints against you. You know what I'm saying?
Or it's a possibility that white kid has somebody in his family in power to fuck with you.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But you know what's so funny? What I love about this, and you know this too right now, Rich, and Kev knows this, the pendulum has changed right now, where now it's a phone call away for no matter what ethnicity you are.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? We all know people. I mean, and Kev, you know this story. I don't know. I think he still lives in Chief Scott. He was in Brooklyn, right? Mm-hmm. And him and his wife were coming home. He used to be the CEO of the 2-8. He was coming home, him and his wife. I'm playing with the story. So they was coming home from some kind of function. Him and his wife was in a suit. You know, he was in a suit. His wife was in, you know, evening wear. And cops pulled him over for whatever the reason was. They pulled him over. They come up to the car talking about, well, where you coming from, homeboy, and all kind of other BS, blah, 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 blah. And he didn't even identify himself. They eventually gave him a warning, I guess, but they were so disrespectful in how they were talking to him. It was in Brooklyn. Like they was calling him homeboy and stuff like that and everything. He went home and got dressed in his full bird. You know what I'm saying? Right? Any other law enforcement? Yeah. Anybody out here? Yo, Kev, that happened to Mensler and the lieutenant in our thing when Chief Chapman drove through Central Park. Remember when Mensler had to wait, right? Chief Chapman was driving through, about to go to Central Park on 110th and Lenox, and they were sitting there just waiting there. Mensler was driving a lieutenant, and he had his window down, and he was just going to ask them a question, even though he knew the answer. He was going to ask them a question, and then it was like, oh, he heard him say, yo, what the hell is this dude want or whatever. Yo, he asked him the question. They kind of gave him some half-ass answer. He went through Central Park. He got to the 100 to the 2-4. I think he called Inspector Stevens at the time, you know, Chief Commissioner Stevens or Chief Stevens, whatever she retired as. Or Reemta had them 10-2, right? That's what it is, 10-2, right? The base, Kevin, or come in. I forgot which one is the code to come in the base.
10-2, come in.
Yeah, 10-2. And he came back to the 2-8. Now his picture is on the top of the wall, right? Listen, Mensler had to guard 116th Street before it was the Mart, right? There was no Mart. There was no Miss. Yeah, it was a lot. That was his post.
A lot of night. Yeah.
That was his post. Yeah. He had to watch that post.
Yeah. The thing was, he was rude, but it wasn't racial. He was just rude. But if you knew Joe, that was kind of Joe.
He was rude. Was it racial?
Exactly.
Was the guy black he was rude to?
Yeah.
Okay.
But you understand, you had to know Joe, he's rude to everybody. Like, it's not like, it wasn't, you know, that guy was one of those, he just had that angry face. Like,
okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, like Roscoe said, he said, nah, that was Chief Ziegler. Like, I know it happened to Chief Scott because Chief Scott was from the 2-8, Roscoe, but that happened to Ziegler too, right? Ziegler got pulled over. Yeah.
It's happened to a lot of them. There was one with the Asian chief, who the person thought the phone was hung up, and they started making disparaging comments. Like there's always been these, you know, stories.
Yeah, Chin. Yeah, I think it was Chin. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's so funny. Things happen. I mean, the bottom line is to get rid of the mentality of a person, I don't think we'll be here to see it. You know what I'm saying? We can keep trying to teach, but until this world is all mixed of all different, you know, people of color, you know, like we're whites and blacks and Spanish and whites.
We got to fuck our way out of racism.
But you know, Rich, as rude as it came out of your mouth, there's absolute truth.
It is true. Yeah.
And it's all over the planet, right? Like we're not special here in the US.
Let me tell you something.
There's not a country that doesn't.
That's not going to happen. It's never going to happen, even if you try to do that. You ever see Star Trek? The old Star Trek with the real Captain Kirk and Mr. Spock.
Yeah.
There was an episode of Star Trek, right, where there were these two spaceships flying in space, shooting at each other, right? So they hit each other and they both were about to explode. So Scotty beamed them both up. There was only one on each ship. He beams them both up. They get them on the ship. When they get on the ship, one side of their face is black, the other side of their face is white. And they're fighting each other. One of them is claiming to be a cop. The other one is claiming to be You know, whoever the fuck he said he was, this guy was chasing him through space trying to kill him. He said he was wanted. He said he wasn't. But it was a racial thing between them. And they were claiming that each people were filthy people, that they were this, they were that. And Spark is like bugging. He's like, what the fuck are you talking about? He said, well, his people are a piece of shit. Look at them. Look at them. Look how they look. He said, what are you talking about? You're both black and white. He said, yeah. He said, look, you're black on one side and white on the other side. And so is he. He said, but you don't see the fucking difference between us? He said, no, I don't. He said, you got to be kidding me. You don't see the difference between me and him? He said, no. He said, well, he's black on the left side. And I'm black on the right side. So it doesn't make a difference if everybody was purple. They would say, okay, you're skinny, you're fat, or you're tall, you're short. They will find a way to make a division between people to decide who can have and who can have not.
Yeah, yes.
Because in this country itself, there were poor people, the Irish, that mixed with black people. They used to call them Black Irish, you know, because poor people mingled with each other, had relations with one another, but once you had sex with a black person, they considered you black now. So you're one of them.
Yeah.
But they had to make it so all people that were white, classified as white, and poor, they would say, okay, well, even though you're poor like that Negro, you're not as bad as that Negro. You're better than him. Even though you just as poor as him, they want you to believe that you're better than him just because you're white.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I'm before we get out of here. I mean, great point. Great point. Let me ask you a question, Kev. I haven't seen you in so long. I know Rich broke it down eloquently about maybe less than a month ago. But I want to ask you your points, Kev. What's your feelings on Israel and Palestine?
That's the oldest conflict we have going on right now. Not the oldest, but it's a conflict that's gone on a long time. Mm-hmm. That solutions ain't around the corner, right? What Hamas did was horrific, and should they have been attacked? Yeah. What the problem there is Hamas, not the Palestinian people. And unfortunately, what happens when you have a terrorist group running your country, your area, is awful. I don't understand why we haven't had the UN come up with a two-state solution of this is the border, piss off both sides, right? Palestinians are pissed saying they took too much land. The Israelis are pissed saying they took too much land. Then you know you did it right. And you put UN troops on the border, and enough. UN troops have sat on the border of Israel and Syria for decades. That's a larger border. Been there for decades. This is a tiny piece of land. This is a speck. It's a speck on the map.
Kev, how old is Israel?
1947.
1947. How did it become a state?
The UN made it a state after World War II. Every nation voted yes to declare it its own state.
Did the Palestinians vote yes?
Palestinians didn't have a state. Palestinians never had there was never a country. Palestine never existed.
Oh, okay. So that land that was there was not occupied. It was not occupied?
What Gaza is part of Egypt.
Okay, but the land that you're talking about was not occupied.
I'm not telling you, Rich, every piece of land on this planet was occupied.
Okay, so what I'm asking you, Kev.
Yep.
Is 75 years ago, before the Holocaust, and the Jews were asked where did they want to go, and they were sent to what's now Israel. What was it before they got there?
Tell me, Rich, what was it?
I'm asking you. You said it wasn't Palestine.
Yeah, it wasn't Palestine.
What was it?
Large chunk of that was Egypt.
It was Egypt.
Yeah. Egypt. That Gaza is Egypt. Egypt.
No, I'm talking about the land that's right now that's called Jerusalem, right? Israel, rather. Who were there, and what was it called before they got there? Because
start me. I don't know.
This, if you're talking about,
So I'm looking it up.
Well, my question is this: somebody was there. You said that yourself.
It was the Ottoman Empire up until the end of World War One. Between World War One and Two, gotta give me a moment.
No, well, better question. Was the land up for grabs, meaning that it was vacant and it was like, hey, there's some free land here. Can we stay here? Or were there people there that got pushed off of that land?
Yeah. There was a lot of people and a lot of border states. So you're asking to change history now.
That's not what I asked you.
But I'm going to go with.
Who was there before they got there?
I don't know. I don't know in 1940 who was there. I'm looking it up.
Okay. Does it say there that it was vacant land?
No, it's not vacant land. There's people lives everywhere, buddy.
Exactly. So somebody was there, colonized that land or whatever, or they were born there and lived there their entire life. And somebody came along and said, hey, we're going to take these people and put them here, and you got to move. And that goal line kept moving further and further, right? Now, they actually wanted to have a free election with all of the people. People from Israel don't want to do that because they feel like in an election, they would lose.
That part's not true. They have free election.
Not for the Palestinians. Palestinians don't get to decide if Benjamin Netanyahu.
Because the Palestinians have their own place and their own president. So why would you get to vote in two places?
Why do they get to control the border and the land that they moved into?
So what's your solution?
No, I'm asking.
No. I gave you mine.
Why,
I gave you mine.
Why are we simply talking about Israel being attacked? I mean, if I came to your house, Kev, and said, you know what? I'm going to live in your fucking house. And you get to stay in the bathroom. And I get to tell you where you can come in and where you can go out.
Well, that's an analogy.
How would you feel about that?
Yeah, that analogy doesn't fit, but fine.
It does fit.
I have a very nice bathroom. I love it.
Taking some people, and did you know this too? Did you know that you cannot do a DNA test, and it's illegal to do that in Israel? You know why? Because if you do a DNA test on the people that live there, they will say that they're not from that region. So it is illegal for you even to take that test, for you to get that test administered on you. Because what's happening is that they're claiming that this is their land. And it's not. Those people come from Europe. And they converted to Judaism. And they're making claim to biblical facts that says that this is their promised land based on their religion.
Kev, what's your facts tell you? Stats?
I'm looking up this one, and it's a tough one to figure out if his thing on this.
Because you know what else?
So give me your solution, dude.
Make the rules.
Oh, well, that's always been the truth.
Yeah.
Rich, he asked you for a solution.
What's your solution?
My solution is to let those people have their land back, right? Or since the UN and all of the NATO countries want to put them there, they should have made rules that they can't do the shit that they're doing. If you go over to Israel, like Al Taylor, he said he went over there, and say if you lived in Harlem, right? And all of the jobs are inside of, the good jobs are inside of Israel. So people from Palestine go through the border to go work in Israel, right? But if they live in Manhattan, they got to travel, and I'm just using this analogy, they got to travel to Brooklyn to go in that way. They can't come in and out a certain way. They control their movement like as if everybody is a terrorist, and they control you like that. And the lifestyle and the poverty that exists in that country that has been divided is like, people use that example. I've heard people make the same analogy of how the Jews were treated in Germany is how the Jews treat the Palestinians.
Yeah. Clay says it's not going to happen because of the traffic through the sea.
Because of the what?
I put the statement on the board. He said it's not going to happen because of the traffic through the sea.
The traffic.
Yeah, it's right there. That's what he said. Ask him what he means. If you don't, yeah,
I don't understand what that means. But
okay.
All I'm saying is, everybody has a right to live in a situation where they have a right to do and pursue happiness and opportunities and entitled to everything else anybody else is entitled to, especially in their own house.
Right. You got Kev looking up them stats and everything. Kev is on his computer game, Rich.
I'm still always intrigued, dude. Listen, you always have to learn.
Oh no, absolutely. That's why I just put it out there. I mean, I yield back to Rich on this because I mean the last time Rich broke it down so eloquently, people was like, yo, the way he hit it, the way you was hitting it, Rich, was just talking about, you got people bullying other people and stuff like that in regards to that.
I mean, the media is controlled by a lot of Jewish companies.
I'm gonna show this comment, Rich. I'm gonna show this comment. Hold on.
I can't see it.
It says, "Brother Rich sounds pretty knowledgeable."
He must have just Venmo somebody $50.
No, listen, brother, I'm just trying to say something to you, man, that everybody looks at the amount of people that were killed in Israel. Nobody's really keeping the stats on the amount of people that's being killed in Palestine. You got Israel bombing fucking hospitals.
Well, but what would you like? We want wars to be fought.
There are
with
rules of engagement to war.
So Rich,
bombing a hospital
is
considered a war crime.
But what if I'm using the hospital to attack you?
To attack or to hide? Because they didn't say attack; they said hide. They are hiding. They said they are hiding things.
For years. This is a Hamas tactic, using hospitals to use it for attack, to shoot rockets off the roofs. They have done this for a long time. All right, I'll be right there, bud. We're almost
Kev, we got 3 minutes, so I'm gonna let y'all guys finish it up. Clay said the region in that part of the world controls the passages. That's what he was trying to say, Rick.
The canal, the Suez Canal.
Yeah, the canal. Yeah.
Okay, so that means that there's money there.
Okay.
Right?
Of course there is.
Who controls it? Kev, who controls it?
Who controls Suez Canal?
Yeah.
Egypt.
You disagree, Rich? Rich. Yo, Rich turned to the stars. He was like, he's shaking his head like you shaking your head like a parent that just got a bad report.
Hey, Kev, are you Jewish?
What?
Clay said, yes, Israel.
Kev, are you Jewish?
No.
You sure?
No. It is under Egyptian control. Egypt owns the Suez Canal. It's Egyptian land and an Egyptian company that runs it.
You agree with that, Rich, or you disagree?
I don't know. I'm gonna let Kev have that one.
No.
But I know it's the Jewish people that got all the fucking money over there.
Now, you can have your conspiracy theory on who controls it behind the scenes.
Listen, Kev, they got all the fucking money over there, right? They went over there, took over some land, built all this shit, and coming out of a Holocaust, though. You listen, they came out of a situation where supposedly Hitler took everything from them, beat them into submission, and you put them in a country, in a land, and then they become the wealthiest people over there and tell the people that's there they living in poverty.
They are not the wealthiest people in the Middle East by a long shot.
I said over there.
What's
in the
over
land
there? Well, where's your over there end?
Occupying now, which is Israel. Between the Palestinians and Israelis, they are the wealthy ones. The Palestinians are living in poverty.
There are, well, see, there's a mixture there, right? Palestinian Authority, Palestinian leadership, billionaires. Palestinian leadership is not in Palestine. They don't go there. If you want to go back to Yasser Arafat, he died a billionaire. The problem is their leadership has been stealing from their people for decades. No different than,
so that's what it is.
Different than a lot of other
stealing from their own people, so they starving their own people and blaming it on the Jews. That's what it is.
I'm not telling you to blame it on anybody. I'm telling you, look it up.
That's what they're saying.
Look it up. They're Hamas leadership.
You accuse them of doing that to their own people.
Well, this is normal. What
all of the shit that they're saying the Jewish people are doing to them, you're saying that they're doing it to themselves. Sounds Jewish to me.
All right. Well, you want to go there? Fine. Like, I don't know what to tell you. These are simple facts of life. You can look it up.
I guess it's compared to like here in the United States. Black people we're doing it to ourselves. Had nothing to do with you guys.
You know, there are a lot of poor countries out there that the leaders of those countries are ridiculously wealthy because they take the money.
Yeah, we got some of that here, like Puffy, Jay-Z. They're ridiculously wealthy too. So it's their fault. The rest of us are fucked up.
Clay, what's the other passage? I'm looking on the map. I don't see the other passage. I don't know what
Clay said there's two passages.
Well, what's the other one?
Yeah. And then
there's only one canal I know of over there that matters. I don't know about a second one.
Yeah. Clay, tell them the passages, and then we're going to close out. We'll pick this up next week. We'll let these gentlemen pick this conversation up next week if they're available.
Before you cut off, Benjamin Netanyahu made it plain that he's going to settle this once and for all and kill all these motherfuckers. He's not making a distinction between anybody. They're all fucking terrorists as far as he's concerned. That's why he's willing to go and bomb a hospital, a school. He doesn't give a fuck.
He has said it. He's going to take out all of Hamas. He
doesn't give a fuck. He's going to bomb any place that his so-called intelligence is saying that they hiding. So if your mother's near them, Cap, tell her to move, because he'll bomb her ass too.
Yeah. He said it's a land grab.
He don't give a fuck. If you're
I don't know what Clay means.
If you're Palestinian, you getting bombed.
All right. Well, we're gonna pick this up next week. Kev, give us some positive affirmation. Everybody, this is Real Talk Chronicles. You see, it gets good, but I promise these guys that we weren't gonna be on long, and we went to the half an hour mark.
Lies. He lied on him, Kev.
Well, listen, you know what's so funny? It's good conversation is hard to stop, so I apologize for that. But I let you go. But I definitely we had hour 33. We had 8:35, and we were supposed to stop at 8 something. So
could I ask Kev something before he leaves?
Kevin right there asked him. I don't know if he's going to answer it. Go ahead, but he got to go play with his. Go.
Yeah. And this is about United States. How you feel about reparations?
I'm not a fan.
Didn't think so.
Well, so here's my quick question to you. Who gets reparations? Who doesn't? Who pays them? My ancestors were in Europe. We're World War II. We escaped Europe in World War II. My grandparents came here then.
You escaped Europe?
Yeah. You know, there was a thing called a war and Hitler and marching on countries.
Where was your family?
All over Europe.
Where?
Czechoslovakia, France.
Oh, so you're Czech.
Yeah. Actually, probably the most I am is Czechoslovakian.
Okay, so most of you guys are Jewish, though, right?
You're looking hard at that one. Like,
I'm just saying, you know.
Like.
But as far as reparations, you said you're not a fan of slaves, Africans that came to this country that worked over 400 years, and then after slavery suffered another form of slavery, which was sharecropping, Jim Crow, all of that shit. Literally built this country and financed Europe. United States wasn't the only country that made money off of slavery. Europe got filthy rich off of it. Mm-hmm. But you don't think that descendants of slaves in this country should get reparations? They gave it to the Chinese. They actually gave reparations to white slave owners in fucking fuck is that country? Haiti. When the Haitians fought for their liberation and won, they had to pay reparations to their slave owners to be acknowledged as a country. Mm-hmm. And in order to pay them, they had to borrow money to pay them, which is why they're broke today. Fact. So reparations wasn't just for slaves. It was for slave owners, and they got theirs.
Okay.
So you're not a fan of it. I got
it. I have to show this comment. Maybe this will lighten this one up before we get out of here, and then we can pick this up. Mark said, "Yo, Kev, pass on this one." Go ahead, Kev. Yo, Kev, give us some. Close, yeah, I mean, you can close on this comment, this topic.
No, I'm not close. This is. I gave my answer.
Yeah. All right.
I'll actually throw one back at you, Rich. Were there black men that owned slaves in the U.S.?
Yeah, they actually were.
Yeah. So there's, like I said, my ancestors weren't here. Were your ancestors here?
Your ancestors were not here?
Nope.
How the hell you get here?
I just told you. They fled Europe, World War II.
And came here.
Yeah.
And enjoyed the pleasures and the benefits of being Caucasian.
Wow.
You came into a good thing.
I don't know if they came into a good thing. They were dirt poor. But whatever.
Go to the bank. Try to get a loan.
There's more of a chance that your ancestors could have owned somebody than mine.
No, we didn't own white slaves. We owned black slaves.
Yeah, well, I didn't say who, but I said there's more of a chance. I wasn't here. My family wasn't here.
Well, you know what? Most white people say that. They say, "Oh, I didn't own slaves."
Most white people I know.
Listen, most white people say, "I didn't own slaves." Yeah, but your family did.
Here during
generational wealth.
Came here during the 1900s.
Hey, listen, white people got Well, would you agree to say that white people got generational wealth on the backs of slaves?
I can't.
You got to think about that.
No, I'm not going to agree with that. I'm going to go.
You don't agree?
Relatives all came here dirt poor.
Wow, you don't agree with that? That white people did not get generational wealth.
You're asking me about my ancestors?
Hundreds of years of free labor. Is that what you're saying?
How does that? If my ancestor came here, lived in an apartment with, jam packed with people,
working for free,
worked shit fucking jobs.
Hold on. Working a shit job and working for free is two different things, Cap.
In 1940, you weren't working. Nobody was working for free.
Okay, but in slavery, people were working for free.
But we're not told. You keep changing.
The closest you white people
you asked about. Oh lordy, dude.
Indentured servitude. You know what indentured servitude is, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's the closest you boys got to slavery in this country.
Okay, but you said you came here and because of generational wealth. I'm saying they didn't come here.
Slavery is when you actually get to work for free, sun up, sundown, and if you have children, they are not your children. They are property sold, right? And the slave owner gets to come and fuck your wife, have children by her, and put his kids to work.
Yeah.
As slaves, right?
Okay.
So that kind of slavery was never practiced by black people. Even though they practiced slavery, they didn't practice that kind of slavery.
How do you know?
Because historically, you can look it up, Kev. Try it. You do that when you feel like it. But look it up, right? And it tells you the form of slavery that was practiced by tribes in Africa, right?
Black men in the U.S.,
Tribes
Africa,
in
any place in
Africa,
the world who had slaves
was practiced
performed it in a civilized way.
Africans did not force you to lose your name, lose your religion, right? You were actually able to become part of the tribe. And this form of slavery was done from wars, like my tribe fights your tribe, my tribe wins. You people are now slaves of my tribe, and you can become part of my tribe now. That's the kind of slavery they had. True, they did sell some people to other people, but they did not tell you this dude that's name was Kunta Kinte. Well, his name is Toby now, so you could take his name, you could take his religion.
Oh Lord,
you know, you can get him to fuck his own children so he can procreate for property. That never happened in that form of slavery. Keep typing, you'll find it.
I'm not typing. I'm not looking that up. You're asking me to research how black men across the planet kept slavery. Stop it. You're trying to make it sound like they were nice. They were nice.
I didn't say that, Kev.
People who had slaves treated their slaves like shit since day one.
Where the slavery made them reduced to not being human. Right?
All right.
That form of slavery wasn't reducing you to you are not human. You lost the war.
Dude, slavery is not human.
You are now
period.
my
There's
property
no nice
for
form.
me to do with you as I will. I can kill you, or I can sell you, give you a better life, maybe with somebody else, or you can become part of my tribe. Right?
I gotta go.
Yeah.
Okay.
I appreciate it. It's been too long. Look, I'm way past time, and I gotta.
I know. Well, you know what's so funny? Well, I apologize, everybody. This is Real Talk Chronicles. That's Kevin Branzetti. That's Rich Williams. Yo, listen, I apologize. We went over. I apologize to you guys.
Hey, Kev,
you know what's so funny?
Red, man.
Huh?
That shit made Kev red. Look at him.
No, you stupid. No, listen, y'all was having a good dialogue, and I wouldn't have even interfered in that. But you know what's so funny? If I'd have known this conversation would have went this way, I would have started this at 7 o'clock instead of going into later. Because the bottom line is, knowledge is key. Kevin, you need to watch a documentary on Netflix called Stomped. You heard that, Kev? I'll show you that. Yeah, he says, Clay, I need to check that. Yeah, we all need to watch that documentary. Clay told me about that the other day.
What's the name of it?
Stomped. You see it on the screen? Stomped.
No.
Yeah, so it's on
Netflix though, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yo, Kev, give us some positive affirmation. Rich, give us some positive affirmation. We out of here.
Is he sure that's what it's called in Netflix? Because I googled that. There's those two words, and I'm not seeing it.
Yo, Clay, you sure that's what it is? Before we get out of here, is that what it is? It's called. It's Stomped? STOMPED. Well, I'll text it in our chat. He said, "Kev, you need." Oh, okay, that's the same comment. Well, Kev, I'll send it.
Hey, all right, let's get to the
affirmation.
I gotta get out of here.
Yeah, give him some love, man.
Right down, sweetie.
Yeah.
All right.
He said yes. He said that's what it is. Yes. So let's give him some positive affirmation. Let's get out of here, fellas.
All right. Is that how
you
got Kev all twisted, man? Rich,
I need a second to recover.
Busted. He don't even know what the fuck to say.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, Kev, shalom, man.
Are you stupid?
Shalom, my brother.
Hey, yo, I'm done. Yo, yeah, I thought I had a flag. Hey, yo,
Mark
come on. Yo, let's get out of here. Come on.
I'm going to say my thing, but look at Mark's thing.
I don't see it.
I'm gonna show it to you. I'm gonna show it to you right now.
Yeah.
You see it?
Hold up.
Then I should give you reparations. Just you. From me to you.
Yo, Mark said, he said he need to give you reparations.
Yeah, I see that.
Oh shit.
Everybody, it's the holiday time of year.
Oh, yo, okay. Yo, he said sorry. It's stamped.
Ah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Joey, I see you in the building. Yeah, exactly. So go ahead. Stamped. Stamped is the show.
It's called Stamped from the Beginning.
Yeah.
Is the whole title. So it's not just stamped, it's stamped from the beginning.
Okay. So yeah, we'll check that out. We'll all check that out. That's on our homework assignment.
We got our homework. We got our homework
assignment. Thank you, Clay. You know?
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Yeah, give it some love, man. Let's get out of here.
That holiday time of year. You know, this is it's a good time to reflect on your life a little bit, do some nice things for people. Remember, there's a lot of people out there who during this time, they've lost family, they've lost friends, they've lost things. They're kind of having some struggles. Give them a little help. Show some love to people in your network. Check in on your friends. Check in on your family. You know, let's all do just the little things. You don't have to do big things in life. Sometimes it's just the little ones. You got your own network. Spend a little time with some family. Spend a little time with that neighbor who you haven't seen in a while. You know, for some people can be a super lonely time, and they need a little extra support and love. So let's give it to them.
Amen. Richie Rich.
I agree with Kev.
That's it. That's what you got.
So I got.
What's happened to a chance?
I thought that shit would be good enough.
Yeah, that was fly. You listen, everybody.
It actually shows. After all that, what we said was we just agree with each other.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like love is love. Love is love all the time.
That's it.
Yo, listen,
No, I don't
everybody.
disagree with Kev.
Huh?
I don't disagree with you, Kev.
Oh, no.
There's truth and then there's bullshit.
Yeah. Yo, he's hilarious. But listen, look, Steve says great conversation. Thanks, Kevin and Rich. Absolutely. Everybody, yo, listen, we'll tune in more for Real Talk with my guys, Rich and Kevin, Rich. Thanks, Ty, for being with us.
Man.
Oh, yeah.
Ty, you know how I feel about you.
Yeah. Vivian, great dialogue. Vivian says great dialogue. Thank you, gentlemen. Yeah, listen, shout out to my sis Viv and the thing. Everybody, watch Real Talk, subscribe to it, share the content, please. We had Noel Garcia in the building. Shout out to the former 2-8 brother. Listen, a lot of PD family was in the building. If you ever want to be a part of the show, just let us know. Just ask me. We'll send you a link. You come on in and chop it up. Put your knowledge and your verb and your adjective game against our guys. You know what I'm saying? Richard, Kev, and Ty, whoever. If you feel like you want to converse with them, come on in. We welcome that. We welcome that conversation. Otherwise than that, happy holidays. I hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving going into the Christmas. Be careful. Watch your back. There's a lot going on out here in this world. Just be safe. And if you can't do anything, foster the moment with positive vibes only. We out of here. Talk to you.
Peace. Kev.